All right, so in today's session, we will try to understand and answer few questions. Why this ClickSense? Why should I learn this? What are the key features? Why the ClickSense is better than any other tool in this world? All right, so the ClickSense course is designed to provide you exactly the essential knowledge on all the core concepts of ClickSense. As is mentioned in the demo, like we are going to see how to load the data, how to transform it, how to beautifully present in the form of visualizations. So we are not just talking about a core concept of implementation as well, which will definitely help you to become an expert in this domain. But before jumping in this tutorial today, let's again try to get some valuable insights in this ClickSense that will definitely help you in better understanding this tutorial. All right. As I mentioned, don't worry if you have never worked on the dashboards. Absolutely fine. If you have never seen in your life how the graph look like, how the dashboard look like, development is, of course, we don't know. It's absolutely fine because we are going to start this course right from the scratch, not only the concepts, but learning the complete visualization part of development from end to end. All right. So many organizations, what I understood, the pulse of organizations across the world are completely revolving around the data, right? So as I said, like data is a, it's like an oxygen for us in this today's world. uh, if you look at like it's add a value to the business for your organization, whether it's a small scale, mid scale, or a higher scale, whatever the kind of a size of your company, but still we always survive on the data because it adds a value. Okay, it adds a value to your organization, and it's quite impossible to extract these insights, okay, out of the massive information. What I mean massive information here is, like, if you have a lot of huge amount of your data from your organization, what happens is, somebody is asking quickly, can you just tell me how many total number of employees in currently in this particular process or in this current project? So when you want to give this insights, definitely my Excel, I can really, excellent in Excel. I'll go to Excel, I'll filter out how many employees are in this particular process. I can filter, but that's not the way to present to the stakeholders or your management. What we do is we try to put this entire information in graphical output, right? Graphical output, so that people can slice and dice and they can see the real KPIs which is coming out of that massive information. It's really impossible for me to handle this massive amount of raw data, because the kind of raw data which is coming in this world these days, you won't really believe it. To simplify and understand how the hidden insights data visualization was introduced, what happens is, like, if you look at the market research, how business intelligence market research, they are saying, like, it's almost reached to 18 zettabytes. Okay, it's almost reached 18 zettabytes in a second. That means every second it is the world is generating 18 zettabytes of data. Okay, just imagine in next 2 years or 3 years, we are going to see every second 175 zettabytes of data is going to grow. Now the question is, why you're talking about data and how the data is getting generated. Guys, we are all using this so-called social media, right? WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, whatnot, Twitter, Instagram. So while using, what happens is, when you're sending any message, when you're sending, uploading a data, when you're sending a video to your friends, forward messages, whatever the messages, that data is getting generated in tons and tons and tons. So we need a beautiful tools which can really transform this particular massive information which is getting generated through the internet today world. We need some technology. So in order to show this kind of data information in terms of visualizations, yes, we require a BI tools. What is BI tools? We'll try to focus more on what is BI. Actually, I keep using BI. Okay, the world is talking about BI because the world is going towards this BI technology. The reason is, everything they want to show this raw data on graphical presentation. For now, just remember graphical presentation in the sense, I want to put some my so-called raw data into pictorial information. That's it. For now, just remember that one, because we are going to dig into more facts. So as I said, the data is really growing. Actually, it is really surprised, like zettabytes of data, 175 zettabytes per second. You can't even imagine where to store and how to get the insights. I'm sure, like, what you know is zettabytes, right? Like, we know bytes, we know kilobytes, we know megabytes, we know GBs, we know petabytes, we have something called what next, extra bytes. Then we have something called zettabytes and yottabytes. Okay, we have like KB, MB, GB, ZB, YB. There are a lot of sizes across in the world. So that's how the data is growing, and we need to understand how to handle this data, whether you're working in banking domain, whether you're working in pharmaceutical industry, whether you're working in a research kind of industry, whether you're working in a marketing, doesn't matter, because data is always there. And when you want to talk to your management, when the management wants to talk to the stakeholder, they need to have facts and figures in their hand. So facts and figures, they cannot carry always this Excel so-called millions of rows of data or million rows of columns into their hands and just carry and talk to the business stakeholders and make them gain their trust. Okay, they need to have some simple kind of a format, a single page of a format where they can speak about the complete their what do you call so-called, or whatever the kind of work they are doing, whatever the kind of business they are doing. They need to put all this information into a single page of dashboards, which you can really do well with Excel. As I said, in my experience, I extensively created using Excel, but I really failed at one point where the data is growing and I'm not able to handle. So that's why we have this BI technologies. That's about little introduction why we need to get into this kind of world. Second thing, very first thing, like we need to understand like what is Qliksense. All right, so we have talked about what is Qliksense in the demo very extensively, started comparing with other competitors like Power BI, maybe QlikView, Qlik or Tableau or Google Data Studio, SAS BI, Oracle BI, SAP BI. There are so many, 50 plus we have seen on the screen, but we hardly we could able to recognize because either they are not popular, either our company is not using. So why should I learn Qliksense then? Because Qliksense is fast growing in current situation. Of course, it's competing with Tableau. Tableau is equally going side by side, and that's how the Qliksense is gaining its popularity, right? So what is a Qliksense? Qliksense is an application released by QlikTech company. Okay, it is owned and designed and developed by QlikTech company. But when I talk about a Qliksense, I'm always worried about like what is QlikView then, right? We always worried about I'm learning Qliksense, fine. Do I need to learn the Qliksense? Is it a prerequisite for it? Please do remember Qliksense and QlikView are two different. Okay, and whenever you're talking to anyone, please ensure that you should say Qliksense is not a replacement to QlikView, right? Anytime, like if I'm using a iPhone now, for example, 5, not really, iPhone 5. So in the market now, iPhone 11 or 12 is existing. So that's an advanced version, right? So what is my mindset as a consumer? As a customer, what is my mindset? Okay, iPhone 11 or 12, which is currently in the market, which price is very high, and it is definitely going to beat my phone, which is currently I'm using. That means it is having additional features. It has a better processor. It has a better memory, in memory, external memory, whatever the looks, the size, shape, everything might be better than my phone. That is what always our mindset. Even if you take about the television industry, whether you take about a computer technology, whenever you are getting a new version, we always under the impression, of course that's the right attitude, we are always under that impression that new version is always better than the older version. But in case of a Qliksense, it's not the same, because Qliksense is not the replacement for QlikView. Both are from the same parent company called QlikTech company, but they are not same. Qliksense is not the advanced version of QlikView, but QlikView, definitely I can say QlikView is like a father or mother of Qliksense. Why then? Because Qliksense more or less looks like the kind of features or the kind of the way we work with the QlikView or Qliksense is almost like same. The only thing is QlikView looks little bit traditional kind of look, whereas Qliksense looks more modernized, uh, which really suits with a business requirement at this condition. Each project each product has a different capabilities, and it is appropriated in particular situation. Now I'm not really sure whether to use Qliksense or QlikView in my organization, how the management is going to take the decision, how the company is going to buy the product. They always try to check what are the capabilities of this product. Is it a really appropriate to use in my current situation, which is going to give me a better results, which is easy to get trained, what are the cost effective, QlikView is better or Qliksense is better. That's how the management is going to take the decision. We are not actually, they are the separate products, as I said, with their different roadmaps. QlikView is a great tool for a guided analytics, while Qliksense is best for self-service visualizations. All right, guys. So whenever you talk to anyone, please ensure that we're never going to say Qliksense is the next version for the QlikView. No, that's a very wrong statement. We should always say that Qliksense is not the replacement for the QlikView. They are the two different products from the same company called QlikTech company. Okay, so it depends upon the situation. We'll use these tools the way we want. But if you want to see the major thin line difference between these two products, QlikView is great a guided analytics tool, whereas the Qliksense is best a self-service visualizations. So that's how we can just make out some differences between QlikView and Qliksense. And please do remember, again, there should not be any question in your mind or when you're talking to someone, okay, I'm learning Qliksense, so prerequisite is QlikView, so let me start learning QlikView. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. You need, there's no prerequisite for Qliksense actually. The prerequisite is only thing is we need to have a good Wi-Fi connection. You should have a right approach to your data, strong desire to learn this thing, and you need to have a proper time to learn this. That's it, nothing else. Don't be under impression people say different things like we need to have this prerequisite, that prerequisite. I don't believe in that fact because it's easy to learn. The only thing is why I'm learning, where I'm going to use that. If you know that fact, that's it, we are over, good to go. All right, so let me talk about the features. If you look at the features, basically, let me write down step by step here so that we can get the more insight into the Qliksense feature. As I mentioned, today's session is going to be more focused on understanding the background history of the Qliksense, not really implementing something. I don't want to be in a hurry in implementing something today, creating a great visualizations to impress you. No, I want to understand how the Qliksense looks like today, what is an app, where to start and where to end, how it is closed, as an end user, how to view the Qliksense application, as a developer, how to look into the Qliksense application. So let's see the list of the features made, the following are the list of features which I'm going to mention now, really made Qliksense very popular. As you already seen in my demo, that the very beginning feature of Qliksense is drag and drop facility. Okay, drag and drop. What does it mean? Most of the Microsoft products, if you look at, like there are drag and drop features available. That means there is no need to write certain extensive code or anything. It's a just drag and drop, and your job is done. Okay, if you want to create a pivot table, earlier we used to in Excel. Just let me compare because we daily bread and butter is Excel. So I thought my way of Qliksense teaching should be more comparable with the Excel, so that you guys can clearly understand the differentiation. It's not like comparison, but better we can understand Qliksense as a Qliksense by comparing with the Excel. Here we are not saying which one is better. Both are good in place. It has its own pros and cons, and Qliksense has its pros and cons. Drag and drop. So the word itself is so fascinating, actually, drag and drop. That means I'm so smart, I can escape from this so-called writing big codings, big scripts. No need, simply drag and drop. Even a non-programmer, even a person who has never seen dashboard in their life, they can simply do it. That's why the Qliksense is considered to be very easy to learn. So it helps you to use this feature, the very first feature called drag and drop. That means if I want to create a chart, I'm not going to write any extensive code. Already chart is there. The only thing is I need to tell the chart like what is my requirement, how I want to see the sales data. For example, most popular buzzword, sales data, how I want to see. I want to see the sales by region, Asia, US, UK, Middle East, what I call UK. Okay, you want to see by region or by country. You want to see what is the total sales happening. So you want to see in the terms of graph. So the picture, what I'm trying to build in your mind now, bar graph, which is more popular. That graph, if I want to create, actually, I'm not putting any efforts here. The only thing is I'm telling my Qliksense application, boss, these are the two requirements to which I want to create a graph. In that case, I'm not really building new graph altogether. The graph is already there. The only thing is I need to tell what exactly I require. So Qliksense, basically what I've seen when I compare with the other BI tools, personal experience, it has a extensive properties, okay, through which you can enhance. For example, you have a product which you don't like that color. You can just change the color by painting it, right? So how you're changing it, like with some tools. So every object in the Qliksense will have its own properties and methods through which you can improvise more. For instance, whenever I create a bar graph, what I've seen is by default, you will get in blue color. I hate blue color. I want to go for a red color. I want to go for a black color. I want to go for some green color. The option is yours. The option is depends upon your requirement. Sometimes I want to put multiple colors on the graphs. So who is going to help me? Not to worry, there is a property dialog box which will help you how to change the colors, how to change that directions of your graphs. Everything is managed within the ClickSense, and it's going to be very quite easy and fun learning. It's going to be a really fun learning and going to give you all the keys and secrets to build things very quickly. The very first one, as I said, drag and drop. Hope everybody is understood. Like drag and drop is nothing but just drag and put on your canvas or sheet. The way, for example, let me compare with the MS Word. Okay, it's not a great tool to compare, but just MS Word. This is a blank canvas for me. Okay, looks a whiteboard, just like a school board, where I'm starting writing something with a black color. Okay, so this is your canvas. Whatever I'm writing now, it is nothing my text information which I'm putting on the Word. So even in the ClickSense, you'll find something like a blank whiteboard where you're going to put all your visualizations. As simple as that. The very next one, why the ClickSense has become so popular, the very first reason, we have seen a drag and drop feature, and at the same time, it is very fast and reliable. Okay, it has more fast and reliable connections. So what I mean by connections actually, is it a Wi-Fi connection or internet connection? No, we are talking about data, right? So when you're talking about the data, do you expect the data is always will be in Excel? Do you expect the data is always going to be the notepad? Do you expect the data is going to be always in so-called big databases like MS Access, SQL Server, Portugal Server, Google Cloud? We never know, because the kind of a company in which I'm working in a banking domain, we have our own kind of way of storing data. It could be Excel, it could be a notepad, it could be a SQL server. In your company you might not have SQL server, you have something else to store. Irrespective of the way we are storing data, depends upon the level of the company requirement. Okay, still my ClickSense, that is our ClickSense, can connect to any data source, and within that is very fast and reliable. The connection we can establish the connection between the data sources to pull the data to create your visualizations. All right, so that's a fast and reliable to a connections, I can say, to multiple data sources. We have seen already in the demo what are the multiple sources I mean. That is a text. You can start from the text file, Excel file, JSON file, XML file, HTML file, maybe called as a MS Access database or MS SQL, SAP data, maybe your TM1, whatever the inside applications. Okay, I don't know. Every company has its own legacy systems, so called. Apart from these popular technologies, they have their own in-house data warehouses, okay, where the data is being dumped, data lake so called. So you can connect to anything. There is no restriction here. It's supposed to multiple data sources, you can connect to that. All right, so that's a second feature which really amazing feature I can see. And what makes this ClickSense more standing out with any BI tool is my favorite, that is storytelling. Okay, storytelling. Oh, all right, so storytelling. So that means you build a big visualizations with multiple pages, let's assume. But today we have a board meeting, where you want to talk about only one particular information. In that case, you can pick the chosen one graphs and put it in a separate sheet, and you can start building a story for today's called board meeting or your discussion with your stakeholders. So story building is nothing but another separate page where you are going to put the most important KPIs of your company, which is required for today's discussion might be, or every month discussion might be, because my dashboard talks about 1,000 things, but my today's discussion with the stakeholders is only part of it. So what I do is I'll pick up some few things from my dashboard and put it in a separate page, which can be downloaded as PPT directly by your manager, by your stakeholders, and they can go for the board meetings. That's the beauty of this data storytelling, telling what we have the future in the ClickSense, which makes outstanding completely be different from other BI tools. That's a great advantage for the Qliksense here, which is really, really ruling the world now. So the next one, rapid development. That means I should not take much time in developing anything in Qliksense. Why? Because I'm an expert? No, not really. Because the thing is, it provides you a drag and drop facility and faster, reliable connections with your multiple data sources, and also providing you additional features called as data storytelling. So it itself means it provides you a rapid development of your dashboard within no time. Okay, sometimes it happens like in a live environment. What happens is ad hoc request. Okay, ad hoc request. The word itself is indicating ad hoc in the sense instantly you want something which is out of your regular BAU activity, so called. You want to create some visualization. That is also possible. It's not like I picked up a project which I'm working from months. No, today only in the morning I got the data and somebody asked me to create a visualizations quickly because it's an ad hoc request requested by my business. So that is also possible because of its extensive features what you have in your Qliksense. So that's about the rapid development what we have. And as I said, like yes, we can access to the real time environment, real time analytics anytime and everywhere, anywhere maybe. So that means you can access the real-time data. What is the real-time data mean? Sorry to take this example, but if you take the example of a COVID, okay, every now and then we can see the graphs on the websites are changing. How it is changing? Because somebody behind the scenes updating the data. Okay, today's current cases, let me talk not talk about this. Let's talk about the population data. Okay, population data, what happens is every day somebody is updating behind the scenes. This is a total population for today. These are the newborn cases, these are the total death cases. Okay, how many teens are there, how many older people are there, how many small babies are there, like whatever the analysis we have on the population data sets, somebody is updating behind the scenes, and your dashboards or your websites are showing live information. Okay, real time, you can access the real time data anytime anywhere because it is already connected to multiple data sources. For example, cricket live. Okay, I don't know much about cricket, but let me give a snapshot about it. Cricket live, in the sense somebody has scored a six, instantly that information will be updated on the web pages, right? So it is a real-time access of your raw data and creating the visualization instantly. That means every now and then you are not going to create that visualizations. You'll create it once and you keep it forever, and the data connection is created in such a way whenever the new data is being uploaded, it will connect to that web page, and the web page will start showing the latest information forever. So that is talking about access to real-time analytics anytime and anywhere. If you're working in finance, if you're working in pharmaceutical industry, whether you're working in a marketing or sales, is a very best example to understand, to digest the information. Every now and then I want to see what is happening in the north region, south region, east region, some XYZ region. Instantly I want to see on my dashboard. So that means I'm accessing real-time data. It's not that today some sales happened, tomorrow I want to see what happened yesterday. No, it's now and then you want to see what is the performance of a particular salesperson, or how is the performance of a particular store in a particular region. All right, so that's all about the Qliksense features, which really, really attracts to many of the developers, because it gives a real insights in terms of development of your dashboards. So Qliksense editions, I already talked about it, but let me again repeat it because it makes really important role, because we still have a confusion why we have different editions here. So the three different Qliksense editions that we have is Qliksense desktop. All right. So that is the first Qliksense application what we have, and the next one is Qliksense cloud application. Sorry for my spelling mistakes because my keys, some keys are working and some keys are. All right, so we have three different applications here. Qliksense editions. One is a Qliksense desktop, and one is Qliksense cloud, and Qliksense enterprise. However, the Qliksense desktop is no more available. As I said, it is dead already in June 2020. Okay, in this year 2020, that is the last date for the Qliksense desktop. It is not freely available. First of all, it is never not available. But some companies claim that they are still using desktop. The reason is whoever is purchased Qliksense Enterprise, they have customized Qliksense desktop for their companies only, but it is not available for the public. Okay, so Qliksense desktop is still available, not for the general public. For the companies who already purchased Qliksense Enterprise for their company, they are giving some customized Qliksense desktop for the employees usage, but not for the general public. So Qliksense desktop was free, actually, a product from Qliksense itself again, which allows you to build engaging reports and dashboard with compelling what you call charts and graphs. So the data visualization software makes you easier in analyzing the data and helps you in making more informed decisions. The thing is, most of the time this question comes from most of the guys, like, am I doing really different in desktop? Am I doing something different in Google Cloud? Are you doing something enterprise differently? Nothing. Everything, whatever you do the job, it's same in three versions, three editions, I can say, not versions here. Three editions, whatever you're doing in desktop, it's same. Whatever you do in cloud, it's same. Whatever you do in enterprise is same. The only thing is Qliksense desktop is something like which is released as a free edition, so that people can test it and work it and start falling in love with this particular BI technology. So initially, any company will try to release some free product so that you can use till you become think it's the best tool to be used in the market. Then they will start charging with the other editions. Like cloud is again free, which is available for the 30 days. And during our entire course from next 4 weeks, we are going to use Google Sense, sorry, Qliksense cloud application. Okay, that's not really application. It's wrong to say application because it is more of a web-based portal application. All right. So the Qliksense and Qlik Enterprise both look same because both are accessed. These two applications are accessed through URL. You know what is a URL? That is www. So whatever you type, then the web page will display whether it is a cloud or enterprise. So when you talk about, as you already understood what is a Qliksense desktop, but more to understand Qliksense desktop, there's nothing there because it's already dead and it's not available to show you how it looks like even, because still before June I used to work with the Qliksense desktop extensively, but now no. Uh, Especially, let me point out one thing. I used to have this Qliksense desktop on my office laptop. When I used to work on Qliksense desktop, those applications, those dashboards are very personal to me. That means they are not in a position to share with anyone because it is a Qliksense desktop. Whatever the app you develop, you cannot share with anyone. But whereas in case of a Qliksense Cloud and Qliksense Enterprise, whatever the application you develop, why you're developing, you want to show to the world, you want to show to your stakeholders, you want to show to your company. So in that case, it should be in a position to share to anyone. So these two applications or web portals allows you to share with multiple stakeholders, all right, multiple stakeholders, multiple employees, multiple across your global functions or different product people. All right, so we have again, as I said, like Qliksense Enterprise is more of where only company can afford. Qliksense Enterprise is also is kind of a desktop only. I mean, the same kind of a features what we have, but it is a premium version, guys. It is a premium version in the sense people like you and me cannot afford. It's only company who can buy it, and it is designed for enterprise usage only. Please do remember, even if you want to buy, there is no, it make no sense, because if you are buying it and using it with whom you want to share it, so it is better compatible application to be used in the company itself, not on your personal desktops. All right, so it is come with a complete data analysis features such as visualization, reporting, exploration. You can even deploy that application to the cloud environment. So the only thing is its cost is very much like you see, like somewhere around like if I remember correctly, it is a $1,500 per user per month. It's very costly. Only company can afford, not persons like you and me. The reason is we really don't want to purchase because we are not really doing some dashboards for our personal use. Rather, we want to share with the world, right? So that's all about the part of this. What we have seen, why we need this Qliksense, what are the different features, what is a Qliksense, and what are the different options available. Now let me go, and that's it, I hope. All right, so the very important thing which we need to understand here, what is BI? Okay, BI stands for business intelligence. What is BI? Okay, BI stands for business intelligence. Since the advancement of these technologies, okay, from the mankind, okay, the man has been doing technology wonders. Whether you say it's a programming language or self-driving cars these days, or televisions just with remote we are operating, whatever the technology advancement we have, we're always being doing the wonders. Once such technology itself is a data science. Okay, now everybody is talking about a data science, right? So one technology is data science. With increased the amount of data, what we are talking about zettabytes, okay, the data is increasing, right? So we need to store somewhere else, we need to transform it so that we can create some useful insights out of it. Guys, do remember this sticky words what I'm trying to use. When you're talking to anyone, you need to use these words. Insights is nothing but trying to create some beautiful image out of your data. You're telling some story about it. You're not just giving throwing a data on your boss and telling you can just filter out. You click on the PPT, you'll see what is the total sense. No, you are going to create a graphical presentation to show how well it works, and you are going to connect with the live data. So with the increase the massive amount of data, we need to store somewhere else. We need to draw some useful insights in order to enhance the business value, which introduce concepts of this business intelligence. Okay, if you talk about the definition of BI, which Wikipedia says, the term business intelligence is refers to collectively to the tools and techniques, if I remember correctly, used for the collection of integration, analysis, and visualization of raw data. Totally lost. This is a primarily definition given by Wikipedia, which I hardly understand, but let's try to understand more closely this. What it trying to say is, what is a BI tool in real world is the collection of raw data, whatever the data. Okay, when I say data, it could be anything, guys. It could be the data which is available in the market, or the data which you see in and out every day in your companies, whatever the data might be. So the raw data collected, which is processed through business intelligence at this, and what you do after processing, we try to transform so that you can really bring some meaningful information. All right. Now, what are you always saying, like meaningful information? What is raw data? Because we expect raw data in multiple. I have seen most of the time it happens in any organization. We get the raw data which is not so cleaned. It is downloaded from multiple systems, multiple combinations. Sometimes the date is not, incorrect. The format is incorrect. Sometimes the data case is incorrect, like lowercase, uppercase, and we want to see something else. So obviously, we need to do some data transformations. Here, what I mean data transformation. Let me give a simple example at this moment to understand transformation word. For example, in my data set, I have first name, last name as two different columns. But in my visualization, I want to see the final output as full name. That means I have something called Monty and Excel in two different columns. But when I see on my visualization, I want to see as a full name, that is Monty Excel. So that means, what should I do here? I need to, the data is coming always in two columns. I can't expect the inputter to provide the data in a single column. Don't give me a two columns, give me one column. I cannot give instructions, because that is how the system is generating the data. So as a BI developer, what is your job is this kind of data sets you need to identify as per your requirement, because somebody is going to guide you like how the data should look like on the visualizations. So basically, you are going to transform the data into a full name. I've given a simple tip of the iceberg. I can say the first name, last name, you're putting into one more column as a full name. Monty, Excel, separate two values into two different columns, which you're trying to put in one different column as Monty Excel. All right. So that's a simple transformation. Or else, let's take one more example to understand more. I am getting every time the date as like day, month, year, but I'm working for a US. I want to show month as a first value, then day, then year. Or in summer cases, I want to show year first, then day first, then month later. So here, what I want to do, I want to change the style of formatting. I want to change the way I want to show that date format on my visualizations. I can't again ask my inputter, can you change the style of date and give me? No. Being a developer, it's your job. You transform the data. He is going to always download the data and give it to you. It's your job to transform the data and put it on the dashboard. Hope this explains what is transformation means, what is insights are bringing from your information. So this information is then what it's going to do is we are going to interpret the data strategically by looking at the trends and patterns. Okay, we're looking at the trends. We are going to find some patterns, how the data is going to come on a daily basis or monthly basis. The moment I pick up the project, whatever the data comes to me, I'm not going to judge. This is the final format every time. It's going to be like that, because next month if the data format changes, I should be ready to face that kind of dirty data. So before that, I need to prepare my data set in such a way so that even in the future, if the columns are increased here and there, alternate changes has happened, still I should be in a position to handle it. So that's why whenever I pick up anything from simplest to biggest automation, I always spend a lot of time in understanding the data. You are giving me this month is November, so you're giving November data. I don't rely on November. I'll go back to the previous month and see what is the difference between last month and this month, and also try to see if it is a bigger project. We need to understand the historic data, historic in the sense maybe 2019, maybe 2018. If it is a very big project where you have the data from 1947 to 2020, obviously you need to check the sanity checks we have to do in your entire data set before you actually go for the visualization. Visualization is not the task here. First, you need to understand the data. We need to transform the data. Then you need to report it. That is nothing but creating the visualizations. So in order to simply understand this BI better, the concept is very simple. You are just collecting the raw data from various sources. I don't know what sources. Maybe you're using some database, somebody is using Excel, somebody is using Notepad, somebody is using SAP technology, whatever it may be. To understand, it's very simply the data is collected from various sources, and it will help the business intelligence tool to transforming this data to a meaningful information. So this can also be explained by these three letters. If you guys remember, we already spoke about this one, uh, ETL. Okay, ETL, which stands for extraction of your data, transformation of your data, and loading of data. So these three letters plays a very important role. That is, you are extracting data. From where you are extracting? Maybe from different source. I don't want to be very rigid on data source is always Excel. Okay, it could be SQL, it could be any database for that matter, it could be a SAP, it could be a website. The data can flow from for anyone. It's for individual, it's different. I'm working with some XYZ company, you are working from some marketing company, so you have a different style of storing the data. You have it altogether different. We are different, right? So whatever the data, wherever the data is stored, that is called as storing and extracting the data. Once you extract, what is the next job you are going to do? You are going to do the transformations. Transformation is as simple as that. You can understand, you are trying to do the sanity checks, and you are going to make the data better, to look better, to speak better, to create a clear story out of your data. And what is that load? Load is nothing but once your extraction and transformation is done, you are loading this data into some tool here. What is that some tool? It could be Qliksense, QlikView, Power BI, Tableau, Google Data Studio, SAP, SAS. Talk about 50 BI tools. Wherever, whatever, we are going to load the data finally to create your visualizations. All right. This ETL plays very important role, and it's a very frequently asked question. What is ETL? ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and loading data. All right, guys. So that's about the simple concept to help it helps in analyzing the complete business trends. Actually, BI basically helps you to analyze the complete trends from the past, and helps in taking the initiatives for your business steps in future, right? I want to understand from my past, what are the total sales happening in a particular region, and this region, what is the best moving product, is a mobile or any other accessories. By understanding this, what I can do, actually I can predict either future, either I can understand the consumer behavior, or what kind of store he is mostly preferring, or what kind of style of purchasing, is an online customer or is a more of frequently, like every weekend he goes to a store and purchase from my store is purchasing. I want to understand the behavior. I want to understand the patterns. Why I'm doing so customer or consumer analysis here? Because based on that, I can really attract more customers, because I'm working in business, I'm doing business, I want to grow my business. So this is what happens. You want to find the trends, so that you can really make sure the next month is going to be a best month in this year. That's how you'll predict the future. So let me give a more example into this in order to understand the true picture. Okay, let's understand this in this way. Assume that you have some nearby retail store. We have a lot of retail stores here. Let's take any example, XYZ store. Okay, XYZ store is selling some different products of various brands. Okay, different brands, both in local, that is store, and as well as online. So let's assume as a manager of this store, what would be my expectation here? Am I coming and sitting and just watching people going here and there? No, I want to grow my business, right? I want to sell more products. I want to make my business grow as big as possible. So all these customers who are online or offline, we are going to provide some premium cards. Hope you guys remember, like customers are given some premium cards so that like you are most premium customer. So every customer will have some unique ID who is going to be identified with a unique ID. I don't want to remember your name. I don't want to remember your face. I don't want to remember anything. I want to remember you with unique ID. So unique ID is nothing but some number. It could be starting from 100, 200, whatever. Like the way our credit card number starts with some different starting number. If you're working for HSBC, if you're ICICI Bank, if you are some SBI, they have some kind of serial number which starts with. So some unique number. Okay, these cards used while shopping in the stores locally or online. Okay, so all purchases which are really made being identified with this unique ID, right? I will try to identify a customer whether is doing online or local purchase. I'm going to identify through the through the unique ID. So now as a manager of this store or CEO of this store, what I do is I'll ask my employees to run analytic reports, analyze analytical reports, in the sense to run these reports and show me what's happening. All right, so by doing so, what happens, I'll get exactly to understand how huge my amount of customers are there, and how many consumers are purchasing this per so and so. I can understand their trends, like their favorite brand, or are they really attracted with the free gifts. I can understand the complete pattern of the customer here, and what kind of price range they are most affordable. If I keep a pair of jeans like between 500 to 1000, people are attracted. If I keep the jeans about 2000, people are attracted. How do I know? Because we have a different levels of mindsets of people in India or over the world. So I don't know exactly how the consumer reacts. So I want to put some different offers to see if I start something like if you buy one and get one, that is one kind of offer. And there is one big brand of jeans which I'm selling out for 5000, and that buy one get one, I'm just selling it for 100. Now I want to see the variation, how many customers are attracted to this offer and this offer. Based on that analysis, I can grow my business. So thus it's giving a completely valuable information, like customer preferences, his needs, its habits. Okay, what kind of habits? Is more like a spending guy or don't spend much, he always look for free offers or something like that, using which organization could anticipate new opportunities and deliver better services, right? And coming up, so with the new marketing campaigns, that means based on all this understanding, what I do is I'll try to come up with a new marketing campaigns, like releasing of some buy one get one offers, like giving some coupons or some offers, like etc etc. So serving the ultimate goal of the growth of the business itself. So whatever are the different actions I'm doing, whatever I'm speaking in the business, being I'm a business guy, so whatever I speak, whatever are my actions, it's all about end of the day I want to grow my business. So that's about the BA tool. We try to understand very interiorly how the BA tool works and what is the need of it. So let me not stop. I need to. All right. So the very first screen which you uh, provide your URL, URL is going to be different from one user to other user because it's a personalized URL. What you can see on my screen on the URL is different from your screen, but the screen look is same. However, I can see some apps on my screen right now, okay, which you may not have. And you'll have this welcome screen at the top as you are a user. So as I said initially, I want to understand this Qliksense better with Excel, because we know Excel better. We are working with Excel over a decade, right? So it's better to understand this Qliksense with the Excel. When I look at my screen, there are three uh, boxes which I can see here. One is a sales dashboard, one is a comparative analysis, one is automotive. What are these? These are called as dashboards, or other words, it's called as app. App is nothing but application. Okay, when you just visit your Google Play Store, you'll find some applications. The same way we have applications here. So if I need to compare with my Excel, if you take this entire Excel workbook, if you take this entire Excel workbook, which is a book one right now, if I rename, I can rename, right? So this is entire book one is application. Here my automotive engineering comes in sales department information dashboard. This is like an Excel workbook. This is an Excel workbook. So how to start my journey here? Okay, I'm trying to just go with the default dashboard which is already there, done by, created by someone. It's not created by me, honestly. I want to understand before I actually learn Qliksense and start creating a visualizations for myself. I want to see how the dashboard looks like in the real environment. By going this practice, what happens is you'll get an insight. Okay, this dashboard looks like this, and these are the requirements. These are the elements I need to use. This is where I need to change the color. This is how the chart to be used. You'll get all those chart objects to be used, how to navigate between one app to another app, and each app relates to one particular dashboard only. For example, I'm into a HR department. So in the HR department, I created one dashboard which is completely related to employees. I'm into the sales department. I created some sales information, one dashboard. So there's no relation between one dashboard to another dashboard, but sometimes it may. Okay, one dashboard may be interrelated with another dashboard sometimes, or it may not be. You can work dashboards individually or combinedly with multiple apps. So I repeat, the app is nothing but collection of your worksheets. Nothing but my Excel workbook. If I look for the first time, it has a multiple sheet, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. The question should be, why we have only 3 sheets? It's up to me. If I want to create 100 sheets, I can create. If I want to restrict my entire information into 2 sheets, I can restrict. So it's up to me. It is up to my business requirement. That is my basic requirement for my stakeholders. So based on your requirement, you'll extend yourself in one single workbook, multiple sheets, or in one workbook, only one sheet. It's up to my requirement, right? So in the same way, as when compared to my Qliksense application is like a Excel application. Here, this is an Excel application. Excel application is having a multiple sheets. So in the same way, this is, if you think for now, it is an Excel application, which is a kind of a box in which you have going to see a multiple sheets. Now, again, one question bothers me. What is multiple sheets? That's what I'm saying. If you just take a look at your Excel is having sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Why do we need 3 sheets here? Maybe in this particular sheet, I want to store the data. In this sheet, I want to put some mapping information. Okay, country to country mapping, or customer to that particular South region I want to map. In the third sheet, I really created my dashboard. So dashboard is a sheet where you put your graphical presentations with the graph, pivots, or whatever. And behind the scenes, your these sheets playing as a data sources. All right. In the same way, if I take a look at the very first one, that is automotive. Okay, these are the dashboards. How to create, I'm not looking into that right now. Assuming that there is a dashboard which is already on my website, I mean, my portal, one dashboard is already there created by me. Let's assume and start focusing on how dashboard looks like in the real world. Okay, when I open, the word itself is indicating, like when you just place a mouse pointer on that, it's saying just open the app. That means you want to open the app. Why you want to open the app? You want to see the visualizations, which is already built by someone, or your colleague, or some developer. Okay, because when you look at the existing dashboards, you'll get the 100% clarity how the how dashboards really looks like in the real world. So before I get into the dashboard, I want a few more things which I want to understand. When I click on this three dotted information, you'll find some options. Like generally in the Microsoft or desktop, when you right click on that, you'll get options. You are getting some options. It is telling me some more features about this app actually. Okay, when you click on the first option, it will tell you details in the sense when it is developed by, who is developed by, what are the things used. In the same way, you can edit the name of this particular dashboard. You can duplicate in the sense, this is my original app. Somebody asked me to do some changes, so I'm taking a copy of this dashboard and creating a new dashboard, and I'm doing some changes in that. because I want to safeguard my first app. So duplicating in simple, even if you go to your so-called Excel files in your folder, you're taking a copy of your Excel file. You know very well why you take a copy of that, because you don't want to distract the contents what you already have in your original file sometimes. So that is what it is. And reload, I can't speak about it because it's more of a data centric related information. And this app, okay, somebody was asking yesterday, if I remember correctly, Tej, this validity is only 30 days. What if I have created a lot of apps here, and after 30 days this license will expire, right? So anytime when you created your app, right, click on this and export this entire app. You can export with the data or without data into your system. And what happens when you download this entire app onto your system, how it looks like, what should be the file name, everything, we'll try to answer all the questions. But before that, we have an option of downloading the data from.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, so whenever you look at this options, three dotted, we have this option called export with data, export without data. That means you can entirely download your newly created, because you put a lot of efforts in creating a dashboard. So as I'm practicing on my own desktop, what you do is you'll download this app and keep it in on your desktop. And tomorrow when you create a new license with, again, with the cloud, click cloud, okay, you can upload this app again to your newly created site. So that's how you are not going to lose your contents. That is what one thing. All right, so let me get into this app now to see how it looks like. First, I want to see how it looks like. I don't want to really develop some app now. I want to see how it really look like in the real world, somebody how is designed, because we cannot compare one dashboard to another dashboard. The way I create, you may not create, because your requirement is different, my requirement is different, your data is different, my data is different. So everybody has his own mindset of creating a data or dashboard. So the data dashboard in real world, sometimes you will create on your own the insights, the KPIs, the graphs, the charts, pivot tables, so called any raw data. But sometimes your business will tell you what I want from the raw data. Okay, so either ways, you are getting a chance to create a dashboard with your mindset, sometimes guided mindset. That means somebody will guide you how you want. They also sometimes put on a paper, I want a first graph, I want a pivot table, I want a pie chart, I want a line chart. They are all clearly mention it. So that will be quite easy actually. Initially, somebody is explaining you what is expected. But what if somebody don't tell you what is expected, just giving your raw data and asking you to create a dashboards? Yes, in this case, it's a really trouble, because I don't know how the dashboard looks like. What are the key elements to be used? So always go with the already somebody developed one. If you're in company, if you already have some dashboards, try to get into that and see how the dashboard is looking. What are the key elements they used? How beautifully they designed? How many pages they have? How many pages they have? It's completely again a requirement. It's not that if I create 100 pages I'm great. No. If you create 2 pages you are bad. No. It's all about the business requirement. Sometimes your dashboard will contain only one sheet explaining everything. Sometimes you want to be more specific in creating more sheets so that you can give more information. So let me click on the very first app. It's asking me to open. I'm not creating, I'm just opening the existing. And guys, you don't have these apps on your system because by default is blank. Just I uploaded one app just to show you how it looks like. Once you open, by default what happens is, based on your company server speed and your currently, if you're working on your desktop, on your speed, it will take some time, being it is trying to open the app overview. The very first thing which is trying to open is a app overview. That means it is trying to show you the overview of the app. I'm a developer here, I'm not the end user. As a developer, I am trying to see what I've developed. As an end user, I'll show you how it looks like for the end user. But as a developer, this is what I'm going to see on my screen in a couple of seconds, because it will take some time to open and configure all the insights and bring that pages in front of you. All right, guys. So once you try to open that app, what happens is it will try to show different pages. Okay, what I mean different pages here. So that means whenever you open app, you will find each individual blocks again. These blocks are called as sheets. As I compared with the Excel workbook itself is an app. If you think these individual sheets are giving me some information. What information? A data sheet is giving me some data information. Mapping sheet is giving some mapping related information. Dashboard is giving some dashboard information. Another sheet is giving some employee information. So we have a different sheets. Why do you maintain multiple sheets? Because you want to be very specific. This sheets is talking about some specific data. In the same way, in the Qliksense app, you will be creating the number of sheets depending upon your requirement. Okay, so usually what I do is whenever I create a dashboard, I will try to create the very first page as an introduction. Okay, just I want to let people know what this dashboard is all about. So as an introduction, or you can say uh, uh, landing page, or you can say home page, something like that, as a starting page of your entire dashboard. Okay, now as a developer, this is how the screen is looking for me, but the end user, how is going to see? End user will never see all these pages like this. He will directly view the page, but not all the pages like this. These are, I'm a developer, because being a developer, I want to edit something, I want to color it something, because business asks me to change something, I can change anytime. Buying as a developer, I can go to any page and do changes. But here I'm trying to see already developed dashboard. Let me see how it looks like when I open the very first page. When I open the very first page, this is how it looks like, a neatly created bar at the top, and telling me welcome to this automotive sales production. To your dashboard is HR, mine is sales, your is pharmaceuticals related, somebody is doing some research dashboard. It could be anything, but I want to keep my short. This is not my dashboard, but the beginning dashboard is talking about more of what is this application is all about, working for whom, what is this dashboard is related to. So if I look at this dashboard, I don't have any interactive button which will take me to the next page. Yeah. So there is no button here actually. I don't know what is the mindset behind that creating of this dashboard. But how do I navigate to the second page? Because I want to see more pages. So when I click on the this arrow, which is by default with the uh, this browser, when you click on the next sheet, but this is a bad way of user experience, because when you look at this dashboard, there should be some interactive button somewhere else, placing at the top, or left or right or bottom at the top, putting some button here. When you click on that button, I should be going to the second page. Okay, putting some beautiful colored button. When you click on that, it should be able to take me to the next page. But I don't know. This is something I can say a bad feature which you don't have here, but we can create that. At this moment, I'm trying to use the default option called clicking on this arrow. When I click on this page, probably the end user, the person who has developed this one wants to talk about what is sales, which countries are buying the cars, commercial vehicles, how have sales have changed over time. Entire information is trying to give in this information. It's not a more of graphical page, I can say. It is more of a data centric page. That's it. It doesn't contain much, right? It's not giving me insights into the data. But however, if you look at the top, it is neatly designed information saying that it's a sales information. If I'm creating this web app, I would like to keep a beautiful name here, sales information, like more explicit information. At the right side, maybe I want to keep my company logo, how beautiful the dashboard looks like. Because I'm working for a XYZ company, I want to keep that XYZ company logo here. And here I want to write what this page is all about. Okay. However, this page looks really still looks cool, because there is a background image which says what this company is all about, what is this sales about. But still, I lose that option of navigating to another page. I don't have any button as such here. But however, I want to use a still default button. But if I need to create this on my own, I definitely want to have a button on this. So let me click on the next button to see what is stored in the next page. I really don't know what is there in the next page. Let's see. All right. So this is looks more graphical presentation. And the very first one, if you see, it is. I always interested to see at the title, because the title is suits to this page or not. This is a dashboard. This is what the dashboard which you are going to develop in coming weeks. So I want to see how the dashboard looks like. And this is a demo content we can see at the top. It's saying sales overview. Okay, sales overview. And most of the time on the websites, when you see easy to understand the graphs, right, instead of understanding the data, if you give me a raw data, it will take a lot of time for me to understand what is happening, what is the total car sales happened in a particular region. Maybe I'm not that easily I can understand. But what happens here, see, if you look at this, what is this kind of a chart is called as a donut chart. Okay, we'll talk about more this, what this chart, what is bar graph, whether it's a line graph, why it is a line graph, why should I use it. We'll try to ask ourselves a lot of questions before we develop. Do I really require a line graph here? Do I really require a bar graph here? Why should I go for a donut chart? Why not a pie chart? Why not a gauge chart? Why not a waterfall chart? Okay, these are a lot new terms which you may feel, but I'll make it very thing normal once you understand. So if you look at this one, car sales by region, but this Africa is occupied almost like 1.8%. When you look at the Europe region, is taken over almost 32 percent point one, through which I can easily identify how the car sales is happening by region. Car sales by territory, how it is happening in the Italy, it is taking a little portion. If you look at this major portion, China is playing a very important role, 19.7% as China is occupied. If you look at the other regions like UK and Russia and Brazil, Germany, Japan, I can easily make out as a layman person, though I don't know how to develop this. But as a layman person, I can really understand if I need to see how much the car sales is happening in terms of a Japan, I can place my mouse pointer there to get more information. What is my total car sales is 38.62 million, and my share is 8.1. That means the moment you place a mouse pointer on any graph for that matter, here I am touching this dot, it is telling me in 2010 what are the total car sales happen. Very good, right? This is what you are going to develop for me, so that as a user I want to consume this dashboard. That's how I want to take my business decisions based on the graphs what you have created. So this is what happens in the real world. You are creating some good insights, good graphs, presentation to me, so that I can quickly take some decisions and start creating some marketing strategies in order to make my business grow in terms of products, in terms of regions, in terms of countries, in terms of any territory for that matter. So if you look at this very first graph, it's just trying to understand not really what it is. If you look at this one, it is trying to tell me I started my journey in 2005, and the current year is 2013. Let's assume we are in the 2013. How lucky we are going back. It is 2013 and we started journey at 2005. And when I started my life, I was standing at total consumer vehicles I had is like somewhere around 2747. When I reached to this 2013, am I same guy or really different? Am I really improved version of myself or really dropping in my business? This is what the line graph is really telling you. What happened in 2005? What happened in 2006, 2007? When I reach to current year, what is happening? Am I really better than 2005? Are I really better than 2012? If I compare, what is the difference between 2010 and 11? What is the difference between 2012 and 13? And why I'm studying this graph so much? Why I need? Because I want to grow my business. I want to see what are the hiccups in developing my business. What causing me problem? Is it employees or it's my products? Is my customer behavior? I want to understand the entire pattern. Why I'm not able to make so big sales of my so big brand of cars? In 2005 it was very popular my car, and 2013 2020 nobody is buying. What is the problem? Is the consumer behavior pattern is different, or I'm not able to provide a better version of my car? So this is how the different things which you can understand by graphical presentation. However, honestly, this graph is not created by me or you, but we want to develop these kind of graphs ourselves. So for that I want to understand where to start. Actually, I don't know where to start at this moment, but I'm just trying to enjoy the dashboard somebody has created. Let me see vehicle sales by region. Okay, excellent. This is one graph which is more fascinating to me because I want to see what is happening in Africa. I have a business in Africa. I want to see what is the total sales happened in what is the total sales happened in Africa, that is total car sales and total commercial vehicle sales. That is in America, what is happening, in Oman, what happening, this is okay. What is happening in the Europe? Is it, am I better in the Europe? Whether I'm in Oman, I'm better. Whether I'm in America, I'm better. Whether in Africa, I'm better. Where I'm better actually? In which region I'm able to penetrate my sales? Where I'm doing really, really as a best as a business person? So this is really giving an insight, right? So these are the few graphs which you are able to see, but however most of the graphs will have this same kind of stuff like line graph which will try to show on a yearly basis what is happening. And you'll see always this bar graph at the bottom which is showing two colors. Why not red color, why not green color? This kind of questions can be answered when you start learning this presentation. But however, this is a mindset of the person who has created. Maybe his requirement, he want to show all total commercial vehicles in red color and all total car sales for that year or for that region in blue color. Maybe that his requirement. Why is showing in a gray color? Why not multicolor? That is his requirement. If you ask me, I'll create in different color. If you ask you, you will create in a different color, and depends upon every company has its own colors to use actually. Okay, if you talk about HSBC, they always use red color in reporting because that's a company color, and we have certain compliance related rules and regulations to be followed. In some companies doesn't matter whether you're using green, red, blue, black, doesn't matter, but it's always better to take the guidelines from the company before you start creating dashboard, because it is not creating for yourself but you are creating for the business purpose. All right, so this still I have some problem with this dashboard because you need to always be a critic of your own dashboard. The reason why, you need to be a critic for your dashboard. The reason why, so that you can have more improvised version. Because here what is the problem I'm finding here is still if I want to go for the next page, I don't have an option here. But however, I'm trying to use the default option going to the next sheet. So let me see the next sheet what happens here. So by this time, you might have already got an idea why we have it three pages. First page is telling something introduction, welcome to this page. Second page is telling about sales information. Third page is trying to show more graphical information in terms of what is happening in each region, in terms of total car sales, how it happened. This page is really looking very attractive to me because it's trying to tell me how the car sales happened over a period between 2015 to 2000 current year. That means in China how it is works, in United States how it works, in Japan how it works, in Germany how it works. All right, guys. So in each country, I am more interested because these are my major countries for my business. I want to see because China was doing really better in last year, but why it is dropped this year? And United States is not always better, but is there any scope in improvement? This is what, as a business person, I want to analyze my business by looking at these graphs. All right. So this is one screen which is more attractive, I can say. Very simple, neat, not multiple colors. And one more caution, guys. I have multiple colors to be used on my dashboard, but please do remember, when you are trying to put some 100 colors on your dashboard, might be our mindset is I'm trying to give more attractive dashboard, but that's not the fact. Because initially this is what the feedback I've received from my business. Don't try to put multiple colors. Try to put two or three colors, because the human mind cannot read multiple colors. You are deviating, because when I'm looking at a graph, I should be able to understand what's happening. But by using multiple colors, what happens is you are diverted. So that's why don't use multiple colors and more make dashboard mess up. Of course, initially when you're developing, you can put colors and see how it works and all. But basically, the real-time dashboard, when you're commercially developing some dashboard, try to keep two or three colors and make it very simple dashboard, because people are more interested, of course, design, at the same time what insights it is giving to me as a business person. All right, again there are loophole in this. The backlog is, if I'm creating of my own dashboard, I will definitely curse myself that I don't have any option to go back. So let me go back here, go to the next page rather. Once you click on this next page, again, it's talking about some production. Okay, I want to give some information to the user. Okay, this is a production page which you're entering in. But however, if I see again, there is no button here which is trying to take me to the next page, which is talking about a production. So first three pages, probably the person who has developed was trying to tell me, I'm talking more about sales. And here he's talking about more of production, how the production is happening in his company. All right, so for that he has created some homepage like, or landing page, you can call it as whatever. It's a starting page, start page of your dashboard, of the second phase of your dashboard called as production overview. If you look at again, you use the same kind of a stuff here, that is a pie diagram, a donut chart. uh, it's not a pie diagram, it's a donut chart. So reconnecting. Recording. All right. So again, if I look at this production, it looks quite interesting for me because it's giving me a lot of insights. What exactly the production is happening in my company? Being a CEO or manager or a production manager, I want to understand how much total car production is happening now, and how much total commercial vehicles is been happening. If I look at 1997 data to 2013, I have the complete insights. If I look at my Excel, I will hardly understand what happened in 1997 and what happened in 2020. But looking at the graph, it's so easy to understand. Just place your mouse pointer and you'll understand what happened in 2008. It is showing me that label 2008 total car production was this much. Excellent. It's a millions, trillions, whatever you want to customize, customize it. This is how the line graph is showing up. And here, the vehicle production by region. That means I have a multiple branches, multiple production houses where I'll try to produce my cars. In that case, what is happening in Africa, how the production is going on, I can see with the graphical presentation. And it's not that today I've seen and tomorrow will be a different. Yes, of course different, because it's changing dynamically, right? Every hour the production will throw different cars, different models, different makes. Some you'll have a huge orders, sometimes you don't have. So I want to understand, being connected live data, I want to understand what is happening in Africa, America in the same way, Europe, what is happening in terms of India, how the production is there a labor problem, why the production is not happening, why America is going best, why not India? India is doing very well in terms of sales, but not in the production. I want to understand all the permutations and combinations, and also the trends, what exactly happening. All right. So all right. So that's what I want to understand by the graphical presentation. And car production by region. That means what is happening in Africa, America. Sometimes you'll find a duplicate of images. Like there is a graph which is talking the same. Here also is talking about the same car production, vehicle production. Maybe here it's commercial vehicles and personal vehicles. Here it's only car production overall by the region. So, however, if I look at this again, I want to put a comment on myself saying that it's not that great, because there is no button to pass on to the next page. So let me click on the quickly on the next page to see what is stored for me in the next page. All right, so country car production dashboard. That means what it is trying to tell me here. Same like a sales page. If I try to recollect myself, might be this guy has copied the same page to here, but he just changed to car production. Earlier he was talking about what do you call sales information. This time he's talking about production. In China, in China, my business in terms of a production, how many cars been produced, that's what it's showing. But I'm not able to understand anything, because there is no as good as any figures. So, okay, I need to place my mouse pointer to see what really happening in 2008, because there's no years mentioned at the bottom. Either it is not telling me what it is, until unless if I place my mouse pointer here, because I created myself this graph, but I'm trying to criticize my graph, because it's not really whenever you're creating anything for a graph or a simple DAPL also, you need to keep yourself in customer shoe and think how I feel if I am a customer, if I'm looking at this graph, is it really good, bad? That's why you'll have a lot of discussions with your customer or stakeholders, with the business people, to understand. Because from your end, maybe it's correct, but from their point, it's not correct. Why? Because it's not showing the years. Hardly I need to put my cursor here to see what is happening, or else I need to click on this to full screen to see this entire graph. Okay, but still I'm not happy, because it's not giving the years here. Okay, a single graph can be expanded or customized again. We'll see, talk about more when you're developing. There's only a demo piece. So this is what happening in China and Brazil, Russia, Mexico, India, South Korea, United States, Japan, Germany. Randomly I picked up the countries. This is how my performance in terms of a production, in terms of a car by country. All right, again, if I look at this, the biggest drawback here is it's shades the same color. Okay, still good. I'm okay with the colors, not a problem. But I'm losing the content here. That means I'm not really happy which year, what number of cars has been produced. It's not so clear. So that means I'm not really happy with this dashboard. A lot of changes can be done. I'm giving a straight feedback to this dashboard. So it's not really good, because it's not showing up the numbers here until unless I place the mouse pointer. We don't have a legends also. What this green color line stands for, I don't have a legends, which is not telling me anything. And okay, I'm happy with the title. It says very clearly from 1997 to 2013 what is happening for the top 9 car production countries in 2013. I have 54 countries where my business is growing, but I want to see the top 10 or top 5 or top 3 or top 2 countries on the dashboard. It can be customized. Of course, it's mine in my hands, and my business requirement is like that. Don't show 54 countries. Just show me what happening in top two countries like India and USA. So that might be the requirement. So why you are not showing all countries? Because my business asked me to show only 10 countries here. However, again, there is a drawback here. There's no button to pass on. So let me go to the next page again. All right. So in use, one is talking about the sales information. One is talking about the productions. Third one is talking about in use. That means which countries have the most vehicles in use. I like one XYZ car. It doesn't mean that the world also likes it. Or else, Indian mindset, we have a different mindset to buy a cars. Okay, if you talk about US, UK, they have a different mindset of buying the cars. So we should always think about worldwide in terms of when you're producing a product, because if my business is not beyond India country, obviously I need to understand India better to sell my product. But if I'm talking about the world, obviously I need to understand the every culture, their business behavior, their patterns, spending level, at the same time what they like, mostly small car, a big car, a medium car, big size car, whatever. So this entire analysis is trying to give me in the in use. That means what kind of cars people are really interested. All right, in this use overview, probably they have want to show, I look almost pages similar in terms of in use overview. If you see vehicles in use by cars, so that means in 2015 total cars in use and total commercial cars are this. In Africa, what is happening, America happening, same stuff, there's no change. Probably is divided into different things. So anytime if you, okay guys, one important notion here, uh, whenever you are talking about end user and a developer, here now I'm an end user because I'm consuming the dashboard, I'm seeing. As an end user, I'll not have access to the pages what you have seen in the initial screen. We have a multiple pages initially when I open. Those pages only you can view, but not the end user. End user will see only these pages by navigating from one page to another page, but he will never go to your data. He doesn't know how to go to the data. No, not that, because it is restricted to look into your data. He is restricted in looking into your pages. So if I want to see the pages, no, you cannot do that because you need to navigate from one page to another page. This is really looks a very good dashboard for me, because he has given how the car looks like a model. He has given a picture here, and also which country flag is highlighted, China, USA, India, flags are highlighted. Trying to make more interactive. It's not like that I don't know how the USA flag looks like, but he's trying to present a pictorial graph there, which really treat for the eyes. Because China flag, I don't know. I know how it looks like, but if you're putting the flag, it is so a big smile on my face when I'm reading this graphs, right? How the commercial vehicles looks like, how the personal household cars looks like. Maybe he's trying to put the model of his business. And here, if you see how the China is working in terms of a car in use by country 2012, and in the same way, cars in use in the China and US. Why you are interested only US and China? Because I think these are the two major countries playing a vital role in terms of my car's usage. So it all depends. Why you are not showing all the cars, all the different countries? Of course, it's up to me because that's my business requirement. All right, if I look at this, it's very interactive. Again, drawback is there's no button to navigate. So let me quickly navigate to the next page to see how it is working. So it's more of analysis page. First is sales page. Second page is in production, if I remember correctly. Third one is in use. And the fourth one is analysis. So analysis is the most important for the stakeholder to understand what is really happening. You're also giving some kind of stuff called as commentary. India and China, most obvious outliers. That means you are giving more information. That's what happens in finance operations. Anything if you say, they put some comments, caveats. Caveats in the sense they are giving more information about the particular graph or something by some text information. This is a text information, and this is what you call as a filter. Okay, this is not a graph here. I want to see what is happening in 2004. Just click on that. Instantly you'll see entire page is changing to 2014. Why? Because there is no content here. Probably 2014 nothing is there. Let me select few years. I want to concentrate only on these years what is happening. Don't worry guys, if you're not understanding where I'm clicking, what I'm clicking, this is not my dashboard. Tomorrow when you create your own, you'll have a complete command from start to end. You are the owner of the dashboard. You can play around that. This is not my dashboard, so I have little knowledge how it is designed, developed, and what is the raw data. So here it's trying to show you the length of the roadways, Europe, Asia, America, and have some more information about how it is performing in terms of road cars in the country. So we will also have something commentary. Okay, we always try to provide commentaries, right? So commentaries plays a very important role when you want to try to make some business understand why we have some less numbers this time, why we have more numbers, why it is showing completely a big spike this year or this month or this day or this week. So always comments provides a lot of information. So this is a territory data what is trying but is not showing up anything here. I'm not sure. Let me go to the next page again to see if at all if you have some more pages. So there is a historical view which is showing some blank plain color. Okay, this is designed and developed by the Qlik company itself probably. So it is trying to tell me top 5 car sales by country and year production by country. So if you look at this historical view, what is happening is smartly the guy who has designed this, he's trying to put all those pages information into single page, that is car sales by country and the year, and production how it is happening, and cars are in use. These are the 3 different pages of information is trying to put me in a single page for a single page view. Okay, I just want to go to my main again. Just click on the open hub, nothing but you are going back to the main page. Okay, I'm talking about the end user now. I'm an end user. End user in the sense one who is not involved in the development, one who is in the business side and understanding this analytics platform, what you design. That's it. That is end user. But as a developer, this is not what you see all the time. You want to create it. It's not what you see. It's like you want to create this. So